the first and last word on air compressors from Boss Industries.
Hi, everyone. Chuck Hamilton here with Boss Industries. I'm the Director of Marketing here, and today, Season 1, Episode 3 of our first and last word on air compressors. Today, we've got Matt Ames. Welcome, Matt. Hey, he's here. All right.
I've arrived.
Matt is our Eastern Regional Sales Manager. But before that, Matt has been with the Boss family for quite a while. But hey, Matt, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Give us a little background. How long you been with Boss Industries, and where's your expertise lies, man?
Absolutely. So coming up on 16 years at Boss.
Wow.
So years here this summer. So I've got some experience. I worked in our parts and service group for about 8 years. And then I moved over into our inside sales, technical sales role, and then made my way to the outside sales role. So kind of worked on the machines, did some troubleshooting on the machines. And at that point, you know the product, and you can kind of get out there and sell the units.
Well, it kind of sounds like you're the perfect candidate for a role like yourselves, because you've kind of done it all, seen it all.
Sure.
And you can actually, when you're with the customers, and you're now not only with our customers, but maybe their customers, when you engage them as well, that you know your way around an air compressor system.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. So today one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was actually choosing the right air compressor for the right application.
Sure.
And as you've been out there, you've been around, and you've been on the phone as well. You've taken those calls, right? You've taken those technical sales calls. And in the air compressor industry, bigger is always better. That seems to be the mode, if you will.
And not just in the air compressor industry, man, that's just across the board.
Yeah. So, but necessarily, as you know, especially in rotary screw air compressors, that's not always the case. It actually can go against you.
Sure.
So, with your expertise, and how are you helping your customers when choosing the right air compressor?
So, a lot of that goes to when you're at a customer and they're saying, hey, what system's best for this, or what system's best for that? Or, hey, should I pass on 185 CFM to my customer no matter what? That's not the way to operate. So we typically go through and we look at the application and say, hey, if this guy's using the machine for 15, 20 minutes, do we need to put him in a screw compressor? Do we need to put him in a piston? So it's just kind of a balance. You look at the usage, you look at the CFM requirement, and then you can kind of pin down what's going to be best for them as far as, if you put them in a rotary screw and they're more fit for a piston application, then they start having issues, whether it's maintenance related, just because they're not using the product the way it needs to be used.
And I kind of look at these things almost like owning an RV or a boat, especially in a rotary screw. If you don't use them, or in our world where we live, snowmobiles, right? If you don't use them, it can hurt you. These things have to be maintained, and rotary screws are designed to run. They want to run, and they want to run a long time. So you made a very good point on picking the right product for the right individual. Sure. And sometimes, unbelievable, it's kind of a challenge, isn't it?
It is, and it goes the other way as well. So if you get a product, a piston machine, and you're overusing it, you're going to run into issues on that as well. So you got to find that balance, and so that's what we like to try to help do. And a couple of resources we've got available on our website. If you go to bossair.com, we do have an air consumption guide, and so we kind of help point you, say, hey, if you're using this CFM and this tool, we try to help direct to that proper machine as well. So
that's a really good point.
Hope we can do that,
because on that site, if the way we run it, we can look at it from either a CFM point of view or a tool point of view, but nonetheless, at the end of the day, it points you to the right direction on which Boss product is right for you.
It gets you that good mix. It gets you the mix of the proper tool and the CFM required, and point you in the right direction. It's not always 100%, but we point you there.
Well, it's a starting point, and that's
sure.
That's what we're here to do. As this is much of this job is more about education than anything else, right? And if we do that job right, then everything kind of falls right into place.
Yep, absolutely.
Rock and roll. Good. Okay. The next topic I want to talk about is, we're in this real fun part in the world right now. We're in a once in a lifetime pandemic. sales training.
Yep.
Not just, sales training between sales guys, but sales training for our distributors. We're a distributor-based company.
Yep.
And so to stay current and to keep our customers engaged with their customers, what are you doing out there to keep our distributors happy, up to speed, and relevant?
Sure. So similar to what we're doing now, your Zoom calls, things like that. The bad part about it is, as a salesman or just as a guy in general, I like to get out and I like to be in front of people. I like to be face to face, talk to you, go out to dinner, shake hands, whatever the case may be. Unfortunately, we're not able to do so. The good part about that is that now when we're going out, we're going to see visit one of our distributors, and you're looking at maybe 5-6 guys. At this point, you're able to bring in some of those other locations as well. So just one I was on last week, we ended up having 44 guys on one Zoom call that we had their attention for an hour. And a lot of that was service based and a lot of it was sales based. But we had that whole group and we had all their attention for that hour. And it was 3-4 different locations. So it was a great opportunity there.
And I guess I didn't really think about it, but at this point in time, especially with training for our customers,
Sure.
Everybody's trying to maximize their time, right?
Yep.
Or taking a job. I'm not saying that we're not in a slow time by any means. We're actually rocking and rolling on that side of things, but connecting with people where now you have the opportunity, and you've been in the sales calls where you'll schedule a meeting and you might get 4 or 5 guys into a meeting.
Yep.
Now you're getting 44 guys.
Right. So it's that balance because you're not able to be there in person and see them, but at the same time you're able to loop more people in, and I think they're getting at least as much out of it, if not more, than your traditional sales call. So
cool. Okay, now things are going to open up. We know that, and they'll be hoping to be opening up here soon. We're already starting to see signs of it here, and I do think the East Coast will come around pretty quickly as well. But
sure.
We have a really cool demo truck.
Yep.
And you'll be grabbing that thing and you'll be hitting the road this summer, spring this summer. And give us a little bit about that demo truck. What we got going on with that, and how is that useful for your customers?
Yeah, so it's nice. So a lot of times when you're talking to somebody, or when you go and visit a customer or a distributor and just say, hey, you hand out the pamphlets. This is what I can offer, and these are the machines that I've got.
Right.
We're all hands-on, and we like to learn that way. So our demo truck has a handful of different machines on there, but it's got some of our engine drive product. It's got a PTO underdeck system on there, some of our multifunction units, tool lift, just everything. So I can park the truck in the parking lot, and everybody can kind of come around and play with the machines and run them and get some air going and just have fun with it. But it's good to actually see what you're purchasing or see what you're out there trying to push to your customers, and make sure that you're getting them the right equipment that fits their bill as well.
Well, and it all comes back to what you said earlier, getting the right product for the customer's needs, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
there it is. It's hands-on. We are a very hands-on industry.
Yep.
So that's awesome that you can do that. And well, we look forward to getting the roads back open and getting that demo truck, getting some back miles on it for you on your East Coast guys.
Yeah,
I know the
absolutely.
West Coast guys and the Central guys are looking to do the same thing. So we're really excited about that, and keep it rolling so you engage the customers.
Yeah, sure.
One last question. With this, what is the boss difference for you? I think every regional sales guy probably has their own answer, but for you, Matt Ames, Boss Industries, East Coast Regional Sales Representative, what is the boss difference for you?
So for me, at the end of the day, a rotary screw compressor is a rotary screw compressor. Compressor in general is a compressor, no matter who you buy it from. But it's the culture, the atmosphere. I think we've got a great sales team, our service team, and just our guys in the shop. It's just a great group, all in all. So
fantastic. I know there's a couple of big key products, that you are very proud of and you're very knowledgeable on, especially with your diverse background, boss. And one of them is our BCAN digital interface control system. We bring that to the table, and that's actually in a demo truck. We have that in 2 places on a demo truck. We've got a cab mounted, and we also have a rear mount one, which we're the only ones in the industry that can actually do that. And it's that BCAN it's not just a monitor, but I'm going to let you jump in there because you're the expert on it, on that BCAN.
Sure. So you talk about where we've kind of come from. And so, I've seen us with just the mechanical gauge packages, and I've seen us with our BCU panel, and now with the B-can. So this B-can, that's the game changer in itself. So this is something that is very user friendly for everybody, and it also helps as sets the reminders for your maintenance intervals, and you've got all your safety shutdowns and everything. And so it's not just an on and off switch. It's more than that. So you can engage your compressor, then you can go ahead and you can engage the other functions like generators and hydraulics and all that good stuff. So it's nice. And then, we can get in there if need be, and our service department can get in and look at some of the service logs and see what's happened if the machine's having any kind of malfunction, or if they want to just check just service history. It's great. You can just get in there with your flash drive and download those files, and our guys can take a look at it back at the shop.
Now, you mentioned the word safeties, and why obviously safety is a very key word, especially in this industry where there's a lot of moving parts. Okay.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about those safeties that we do offer on there and how it affects the customer.
So, and those safeties are twofold, because it's safeties for the operators and it's safeties for the investment in the machine itself. So you've got so you've got the guys that are operating the machines. And so if they're getting too hot or if they're getting overpressure, we obviously want to shut that machine down, not just because, hey, we want to make sure the compressor isn't damaged, but we don't want guys that are operating the equipment that come back to us year after year after year and buy our product and have been loyal to us and have been great partners. So it's safety both for the user and for the machines.
Fantastic. Okay, and one last question for us. I know we have a new on our index systems, more specifically for the Ford F550s, but we call it the no screaming. It's the low RPM, low noise. And you were at the forefront of that, actually. And I'm not the underdeck guy. I'm just the marketing guy here. So, tell me the difference, or tell our viewers out there the difference between, let's say, a standard underdeck package at the old normal RPM versus our new Boss low RPM underdeck system.
Sure. Yeah. So as you know, 20 decibels is 20 decibels. So whatever it is, that's just a random number. But one of the bigger complaints with, I wouldn't call it a complaint, but one of the bigger issues with a screw compressor unit is they had a whine of all their own. That everybody that has run one of those machines knows the screw compressor makes noise. But then you couple that with having to scream that engine. So on top of that screw compressor noise, now you've got the engine screaming. Even if you could bring that down a couple hundred RPMs, it's noticeable to the guys that are working machines. So that's what we're able to do. We're just a tick above idle, and we're able to lower that noise for the guys that are out there using it every day.
Plus, when they're in a neighborhood environment, right, where there's kids,
it's
a residential area, that really makes a big difference. And so, and plus, the last thing you want to do is always draw attention to yourself by some screaming noise. So
sure.
But anyways, hey, this has been awesome. I want to do this again because I want to go back to your background a little bit more while you're here at Boss. But looks like our time's about up. But I want to thank you for joining us, Matt. It's been awesome, and thank you for joining the first and last word on air compressors with Boss Industries.
All right, perfect. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks, man. See you next time, Matt.
All right, take care.